Nadolig Llawyn, and welcome to the Radio Wales Sports Show, your weekly whistle-stop tour of everything happening in Welsh sport. I am your host, David Griffiths, and we've got a massive half hour lined up for you. Today, we're going to be talking about the Cardiff flying high, Swansea showing signs of life, and big rugby stories on and off the field. Huge recognition for parasport and Welsh boxing making serious noise in the world stage. So, whether you're back going on your way to work, wrapping some Christmas gifts, or just grabbing a brew, stay with us for the next 30 minutes of non-stop Welsh sport. And first, onto the weather. Windspread rain, often heavy as expected through much of the day, with Met Office yellow and amber rain warnings in force for parts of Wales, and distribution to travel possible in areas prone to the flooding. Temperatures stay mild for December, generally around 10 to 11 degrees, but it will feel damp and unpleasant rather than cold. Winds are mostly light and calm, so the main issue in the volume of rain rather than the gales. And kicking off with the football, and Cardiff City are still setting the pace at the top of their league after another strong performance at the weekend, keeping them firmly at the summit and oozing confidence going into the busy festive schedule. And for Swansea, overall, while a 2-1 loss to Stoke might have hurt, there are signs of resurgence in the men's team and a bit more fluidity going forward, and a sense that they're starting to find their identity again, which is crucial heading into the new year. And going over to the women's side, and Cardiff City women got the better of Swansea City, a big derby, not only for the result, but also for the bragging rights, and also to show how strong they are doing it this season. The Cardiff ladies are sitting second currently in the Adrian Premier, chasing Wrexham at the top of the league, but the two sides clash on the 4th of January, where both teams are hoping to start 2026 with a massive win. And there is a tasty cup tie on the horizon too. Cardiff City up against Chelsea in the Carabao Cup. A huge night for the club, a Premier League scalp up for grabs, and you'd expect a packed house under the lights in the capital. We caught up with Derek Flugents, Chelsea fan and performance analyst, and he gave us a few insights going into tomorrow night's match.
So the game versus Chelsea kicks off tomorrow on the 16th of December in the Cardiff City Stadium. From a Chelsea point of view, I'm feeling quite confident as it's a Premier League side versus a League One Cardiff City team. The Cardiff City supporters will want to prove a point and trying to make the atmosphere as uncomfortable as possible for Chelsea, with the Cardiff team also bringing a bunch of physicality. There's definitely a lot of pressure on Chelsea to win this game and make it to the semi-final of the competition, and it's going to be a good game and one that I've been looking forward to.
A absolutely massive headliner down at Cardiff City Stadium tomorrow night. But over to the rugby now, and there is breaking news across Wales. The Wales captains Jack Morgan and Dewi Lake will join Gloucester at the end of the season. Both forwards are due to be out of contract with the Ospreys at the end of the current term, with uncertainty lingering about the future of club rugby in Wales. Morgan, who made his Wales debut in 2022, has 25 international caps and was the only Welsh member of the victorious British and Irish Lions of their tour of Australia. Lake took on the captaincy for Wales' summer tour in Japan and will likely continue the role after Morgan sustained a shoulder injury that could rule him out for the entire 2026 Six Nations. Both players have reached the 25 cap mark, so that will still be eligible to play for Wales after making the journey over the bridge at the end of the season. I'm here joined with Sam Jones, our rugby expert for this afternoon, to give us a bit more insight into the latest news around rugby. Sam, Jack Morgan, Dewi Lake, two massive, massive players for Wales, and they're going over to the Gallagher Premiership.
Yeah, the Welsh pairing moving across together to the Gloucester club that have been speculated at for the past 2-3 months. Both very important roles within their club, the Ospreys, maybe hinting at the fact that the fans and the audience, don't know something they do, and really creating speculation within Welsh rugby.
And they aren't the only players from Ospreys that are rumoured to go either. We have had rumours of a few more players wanting to make that move over the bridge.
Yeah, Dan Edwards, the starting fly-half, who has been high flyer for Welsh Nation so far, is also hinted at moving across to the club Saracens in the Gallagher Prem, causing trouble for the Ospreys in terms of positioning, especially if he goes to clubs such as Saracens, but also hinted at Leinster, a big rival across into the Irish teams. So yeah, speculation is causing trouble.
And you think as well, them 3 players there alone, the impact they've had on Welsh rugby, especially in the summer campaign, Dan Edwards making that number 10 shirt his own. As an Ospreys fan, you'd be absolutely gutted that these rumours are coming through, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as I said, it speculates the fact that your club may no longer exist in the future, but also losing key figures like that is telling you as a fan that something isn't quite right. And alongside other speculations as well, you've got players like Thomas Williams, who for a Welsh Nation, you've got your starting scrum half, your new high flyer fly half, and you have 2 captains that have been solid within that Welsh squad now going across to the English rugby, across the bridge, and yeah, really causing speculation to what it may look like in the future for Welsh rugby in its entirety.
And it is a very, very big shame as well, because this weekend has been brilliant for Welsh rugby. 3 out of the 4 clubs getting wins in their respective European competitions. The story of persistence, Newport Rugby, who finally ended a 364-day winless streak with a comeback victory over Lyon in the same competition that they won in almost a year prior. And it was an absolutely brilliant win, and hopefully it gives something for the fans to celebrate.
Rugby parade erupts. Dragons hit the front. What a victory. What a moment. 2025 has been a year to forget, but this has been a game to remember.
It sounded like Rodney Parade was absolutely bouncing on the weekend, but they weren't the only club that grabbed a win in Wales. Ospreys added another win onto their Challenge Cup campaign, making it 2 out of 2 in the group stages after a bonus point win over Mount Auburn. The Swansea boys sit joint top of the pool and are in very good positions going into Christmas.
And the Ospreys have picked up a bonus point win away from home. So impressive. Starting their Challenge Cup campaign on the perfect notes.
And to make it 3 wins on the European stage, Cardiff Rugby pulled off late drama in the Challenge Cup with Callum Sheedy nailing a last kick winner to secure a gutsy victory. The sort of moment that can absolutely transform a belief in the club. Sam, an absolute belter of a game that was. I went down to the Cardiff Arms myself to witness it, and even though it looked like Cardiff were down and out coming into the second half, an unbelievable scrappy win for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Just showing that rugby is an 80-minute game. Cardiff Arms Park bouncing, causing loads of noise within the capital, and seeing Cardiff yet again win at the depth, an 82nd minute kick. This time from Sheedy against Ulster team that had no words at the end of the game, because how do you respond to that?
It was an absolute heartbreaker for the Ulster boys. And I forgot to mention as well, there was one player on the pitch, an absolute legend that's come back to Wales, Lee Halfpenny, back in the full-back position for Cardiff Blues. He hasn't been there for years, but an absolute legend of Wales. It's good to see him back in the capital, really, isn't it?
Yes, it was seen on social media that Cardiff Rugby posted a picture of young Tom Bowen, the starting winger, who was, I think, 12 years old at the time, with his hero Lee Halfpenny. And now you look at the big stage and they're both playing side by side, setting Cardiff to huge success.
And then moving on as well, off the field, there's important news in Welsh Rugby at the moment with Abby Tierney, who is set to return as CEO in the new year. With a brief to steady the ship at governance level and push fresh investment into the game in Wales, there's a lot of uncertainty of which club will be facing the drop. Sam has the latest.
Yeah, Tierney will return on a full-time basis at a time where Welsh Rugby finds itself in yet more crisis on and off the pitch. While the governing body has also announced a new Chief Commercial Officer in Thomas Grace, who will take up his role alongside Tierney as she returns to the nation. She responds with, there are significant major challenges presented to Welsh rugby at this time, but saying there is also huge opportunity for them to forge their way ahead in the professional game, which will safeguard its future. Saying there is a lot more hard work ahead, but our strength in Welsh rugby is our ability to unite and work together towards one collective aim.
Thank you very much, Sam, for joining me today. But before we get into the second half of the show, here's Aaliyah and Coma with the news about sports you don't really hear in Wales.
NHS area manager David Davis is facing the biggest challenge of his darts career, playing at the PDC World Darts Championship. The Welsh qualifier is set to play world number 1 and reigning champion Luke Littler at Alexander Palace. Davis impressed on his tournament debut with a first-round victory and has secured £25,000 in prize money. He now takes on one of the sport's biggest names in what promises to be a rememberable encounter. Moving on, we have women's blind football in Wales as it continues to grow with an increased participation following targeted outreach through disability programmes and local club partnerships. After years of limited opportunities, national training sessions in South Wales are now helping players develop skills, build confidence and progress along a clearer performance pathway, with the aim of improving Welsh representation at UK and international level. Next, with wheelchair rugby in Wales also showing strong development, a recent national training camp in Cardiff brought together athletes from across the country, focusing on physical preparation, technical skills and tactical understanding. Coaches say improved access across the community is helping more players transition into structured development squads. And finally, Welsh ice hockey is seeing a renewed interest, with Cardiff Fire reporting record numbers across the junior programme this season. Clubs say stronger grassroots outreach and school engagement are helping build a clearer pathway for younger players in the sport that traditionally remained niche in Wales.
And staying with the big stories, but switching to parasports now. And the para rower Ben Pritchard has been named BBC Cymru Wales Sports Personality of the Year for 2025 after an incredible run of success. He's a Paralympic champion who has added European and world titles to his collection, completing a clean sweep of major honours in his events and becoming one of the standout figures in Welsh sport this year. Pritchard's journey from life-changing injury to the very top of his sport is such a powerful example of resilience, and that award helps shine a brighter light on the entire parasport community in Wales. I'm grateful enough to be joined by Megan Beveridge, wheelchair basketball player for the Reading Rockets and 89ers, if I'm correct in saying that.
That is correct, yes.
Megan, thank you very much for joining me. And just a little bit for people who don't know much about wheelchair basketball, can you tell us a bit more about the sport and how you got started at the beginning?
So before I ended up being involved in wheelchair basketball, I was in the army. So I was in the army for 13 years and I happened to be on a ski trip with my regiment and I really messed up my leg, which meant I had to adapt a lot of things. So I was sent on a military recovery course, and it was to teach you to adapt your day-to-day life to your injury or illness through using adaptive sports. And so day one, we were put in wheelchairs and on a basketball court, and we got to play some wheelchair basketball, and my mentality and just enthusiasm for it was there, and I was like, this is amazing. And the gentleman that was running it was like, if you really love it that much, go online, go on BWB, which is British Wheelchair Basketball, put in your postcode and it'll tell you your nearest club. So that was that back at the end of 2023 that I got involved with it, and I absolutely love it. Almost every spare minute I've got is spent either on the way to a basketball court or on court. And yeah, it's meant so much to me because it gives me something else to live for and to push myself with. And I'm sure that's a lot of other people involved in disability sport as well. It's that outlet that was sort of taken away, or that they've had to find.
And it's just, I think you said it yourself there, and it's very much important for someone that almost has their life turned around as well. And it's just important to have that mechanism where you can go and still be active and still participate in sports, especially sports that you love as well.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, before I was physically disabled, I used to do mixed martial arts. I used to do tug of war for the army. So I did a lot of like high impact things, quite energetic, always doing something. Obviously, I did skiing, not very well, evidently. But wheelchair basketball gives me that element of risk that I've lost in other areas of my life. And I'm sure any of the people that I play with will be free to tell you that I'm always fouling people, even though I'm trying not to. But yeah, I just love it.
And being part of like an army setup before going into the sport, it must give you some resilience and just out and out, just can't give up mentality, really.
Absolutely. I mean, I think with everybody, you have days where you wake up and you just don't want to get out of bed. And the army definitely built a resilience into me about always just keeping going. Even when I'm tired, I'm still going. Perhaps I should listen to my body a bit more, but I just keep going. And that also comes down to the friends that I've got around me in the sport as well, because they egg me on when I need that bit of encouragement. And they're also, a few of them are a bit like mum, where they're like, Megan, maybe you should be resting rather than being here tonight to train. And I appreciate that as well as the encouragement. So yeah, it's a great community that we've got.
And yeah, a bit more about that as well. Obviously, you've been part of the Rocket setup in Reading since you moved over from Surrey. What's it like being part of the setup up there?
Oh, it's absolutely amazing. And I mean, the level of players there is just absolutely insane. I've only been going for probably about 3 months now. And I do still train along at Surrey, but I don't play for them. But yeah, the players that they've got there, it's just at such a high level. And I've still got a long, long way to go. But it's amazing to be able to learn from them in that environment. And I think there's a good thing about always feeling on the back foot, because you're always sort of pushed to learn more and to give it your all the time. And yeah, I just look up to everybody there so much, and it's great to learn from them.
That's amazing. And obviously, being part of the Rockets now, you're in the 3rd division of the league, is it?
Yes.
Division 3 league? A bit more about that. How is the season going so far for you?
The season so far is going well for us at Div 3 for Rockets. So we are 5 games in, I believe, and we've got 3 wins from that 5. So we've definitely got things to come back to the drawing board to work on, but we got the win, which was for our last game, which was the last game of the year, so to speak. So we're going out of this year on a high and hopefully kick off again next year with a win as well. So yeah, it's been fantastic having a new group of people to work with as well. And there's a lot of people who didn't play with them last year. So yeah, just learning how each other works on court and what people need from you as well. It's always good fun to learn that. And we don't really get heated with each other as well, which is always a winner. Yeah.
It's always good to have that chemistry on the court as well, isn't it?
Absolutely. I bring mango. That is my thing. I turn up with snacks, and that's how I keep people on side.
That's a good way. I think I'd be your best friend if I was on the court with you. And yeah, just a bit more. I've had a look at a few results, and there have been some close games in the Division 3 league, and I got to say, it does seem like quite a competitive league.
Absolutely. I mean, I think 2 of ours in particular have been like 1 point difference or 2 point difference. And you can really see that as the game goes on and people get sort of more invested. And it's always good if you start with the right intensity at the start of a game, but sometimes you find that as you go through and you're just, you're up by 2, they're up by 2, you're up by 2, they're up by 2, and it's sort of give and take between you, and you really just want it to go your way. And it gets the best out of everybody on court as long as you're working together.
It's nail-biting stuff, isn't it? You're just
it really
wanting
is.
to get that result. And a bit about Ben Pritchard as well, obviously winning BBC Wales Sport Personality, and just what it means to the parasport community to get that recognition on high stages like Sports Wales and BBC.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. I mean, he's already doing so much for the disability community in that he is a great advocate. Obviously, he's an amazing athlete in himself. To come back from such an injury as well and just turn things to a new focus. The fact that he came away with gold from Paris is amazing. And he also does like a lot of workshops and things like that, and he helps advocate for the disability community as well. So, yeah, I think he's doing great things. So, yeah. He also got asked to be part of the Paralympics GB Athletes Commission as well, so that was amazing.
Crazy.
I'd have no idea where to start with that myself, but he's doing great things.
And well, just end it on yourself as well. Where do you see yourself from your basketball journey?
I would absolutely love to do the Invictus Games, which is the military sort of version of the Paralympics, which is going to be held in Birmingham in 2027, I believe it is. And so I've applied for that. Hopefully I'll get it. Really want to do wheelchair basketball at it, but if I can't, I'll do whatever sport they give me. But I'd love to compete in that, and obviously I've been signed to do Women's Premier League with Cardiff Met as well, which is the highest level I can probably imagine to play at, because you've got all the GB girls there in different teams, and just looking up to that is amazing. So I know I'm probably going to be getting bullied down one end of the court by myself, but I'll have a great time.
As long as you bring the snacks, you'll be fine.
Yeah, that's it. I'll bring donuts. I'm sure they'll be nice.
Oh, donuts as well. Oh, I'm getting jealous here. I'm getting jealous. And one last thing before we let you go, Megan. Christmas time's coming up. What's in stores in the household for you?
Well, I absolutely love Christmas time, so I've got so much planned. So I will be going down to Hyde Park Winter Wonderland for a bit. And then I'm going to treat myself to go and see the Nutcracker ballet. So I've never seen it before, but I think ballet is very impressive. So I'm going to go see the Nutcracker, and then I will have a little visit home to Scotland. And then after that, me and one of my friends were driving over to Brussels to the Christmas market there.
Oh, wow.
So all the Christmas things, so festive.
You got to, this time of year, you've got to just do anything and everything you can, can't you?
Yeah, and all the Christmas dinners as well, obviously.
Oh, it goes without saying, Christmas dinners. Oh, chocolate, sweets, you name it, it's there. Oh, but Megan, thank you very, very much for joining us, and have a lovely Christmas break, and good luck for the rest of the season and your goals of hopefully getting into the military team for the 2027. Yeah, just all the best to you and very good luck to you.
Thank you, and you.
And moving into the ring now, Lauren Price has outlined plans for a busy 2026, targeting at least 3 fights next year as she continues to build on her world champion status at welterweight.
Unified world champion,
Brilliant.
I said after I beat Jonas, I wanted the winner of Mayer and Sandy. Obviously, I watched the fight, great fight. I thought Mayer won very well. And what a fight to make, and I'm up for it 100%. I thought she boxed very well. I thought she set the pace, she worked well to the body, she had good combination punches, but it's a fight that all along I believe I win, and I won that fight. Undisputed, what more do you want in the sport? And it's a fight I believe I can box, I can fight, I can do both, and I come out on top. I'm my own person. I think Sandy gets a little bit too involved sometimes and plays into Maya's hands with fighting. I think she's a better boxer. But, it was a great fight. Maya, she works well on the inside. But like I said, and I say all the time, my skill, my speed, I believe I'm too much. I've always believed in myself and my team believed in me. But I think, boxing at the Royal Albert Hall on March the 7th, I think I showed that, how good I am, and I can, more or less compete with the best and win the way I did win. And, we seen Jonas and Maya fight, going back last year, and it was close. And I believe, the fight that I had with Jonas, I won comfortably. So I just think I'm on another level, and I think it's a great fight to make. I respect Maya, but I'll come out on top, and I'll become undisputed world champion. My full focus is on 147 at the minute in becoming undisputed, but definitely a fight down the line. I would love to share the ring with her. I'm Olympic champion. It's a great fight to make. Yeah, definitely. Just congratulations on a great win, and I'll see you soon. Let's get it on.
And also making headlines is Joe Cordina, who moved a step closer to becoming the 2-weight world champion after a unanimous decision win over Gabriel Flores Jr. in California, with all 3 judges scoring the bout in his favour.
I got the win. It's not exactly how I wanted to do it, but listen, things happen. Everyone's win, but you can't come and nick a fight of a fighter like me. Can't nick a fight of a fighter like me. And listen. You can't do that, especially in your hometown. You got to put on performance, and unfortunately for him, he didn't do that. Well, in previous fights, the ones he's lost, the pressure fighters have always come on top. So I knew that's one way I can win. But I couldn't establish my jab today. My distance, I just couldn't find my distance with it. So I just kept on with the pressure, kept making him, forcing him back to the ropes and trying to fight him off. But he just couldn't keep up with the pace. Obviously, with a performance like that, I ain't going to compete. But don't worry, when the performance, the opposition becomes better, then I step up my game. So listen, that's a fight I'd love to step in the ring with Eddie. Eddie knows Eddie's there. Eddie, I've been chasing these big fights for ages. And I'm getting to an age now, I'm 34 years of age. I only got a couple of years left, so I want to make sure every fight counts, and these big fights are the ones I want. Comfortable weights. I got Sean Aspinall, Tom Aspinall's cousin, who's my nutritionist, and he takes care of everything. So it's another weight off my shoulders that I don't have to worry about.
Between Price and Cordina, Welsh boxing is in a very healthy place at the moment, producing champions who can headline cards anywhere in the world and inspire the next generation coming through local gyms. Sam, Joe Cordina, is absolutely tearing it apart at the moment. Do you think he could get up to there to be that double champ?
Yeah, Wales's former IBF super featherweight belt holder Cordina outboxed his American opponent with judges scoring the contest 117 to 110, 115 to 112, 114 to 113. So it was a very tight encounter. The fight at the Adventist Health Arena in Stockton was billed as the final eliminator for the WBO lightweight world title, which was won by Abdullah Mason in an epic encounter with Sam Noakes in November. But Cordina now was docked in the 6th round for rabbit punching, but was in more control than judges' cards contested to get that final score against Flores Jr.
And in Flores' backyard as well, the American man, you could hear in the crowd in that video the tension and the angriness in the fans. If you're Joe Cordina now, you take that win and you just move upwards now, really, don't you?
Yeah, the victory in Flores' backyard is the second win in the lightweight division for Cordina, who returned from a 14-month layoff with a hard-fought points win over Jarrett Gonzalez in July. So it really shows that resilience coming back and fighting him, especially in his own backyard.
And just quickly moving on from the ring to the octagon, Sport and UFC star Brett Johns on Saturday night marked the final bout of his 13-and-a-half-year professional career, which saw him 2 world titles and become the first Welshman to fight in the UFC. And we all wish a very, very happy and healthy retirement for Brett Johns. And that brings us to the end of this edition of Radio Wales Sport. We've covered Cardiff's charge at the top, Welsh Rugby's World Cup storylines, Ben Pritchard's phenomenal year, and having Megan as a great guest onto this radio show. And big moves in the boxing world. Christmas time, Sam, is coming upon us, and we also asked Megan's thoughts what she's doing this Christmas. But Sam, what you got planned for this Christmas, mate?
I think my all eyes will be going to the new year. Once the Christmas festive period is done, looking towards the new year with all the sports we've spoken in today's show, big names, big stories, moving about, a lot of change ahead of 2026, which hopefully will give Christmas kind of a rest period before another eventful sporting year is upon us.
And hopefully it's going to be nothing but positive news coming out of Wales, and definitely in the industry of sport. There's a lot we've talked about today, a lot about Welsh rugby, boxing on a massive surge in Wales at the moment. And you got to admit, it's quite proud to be Welsh, even with some uncertainties.
Yeah, absolutely. You always want positive stories for your country, and to hear change, but in a positive way with like Tierney's story, it can only go up.
And I think one thing I'm looking forward to, Megan said it there, Christmas food, Christmas dinner. Enough about the sports now. Christmas dinner, I can't wait for it. I don't know about you, Sam.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always a festive period. You can drink and eat whatever you want and have an excuse for it. And then we can worry about it when we get to the Christmas and New Year.
Any resolutions for you in the new year, Sam?
To be more organised, stay on top of my sport so I can keep more control of these top stories, because more will keep appearing and hopefully more positive news will hit us in Wales.
And that is all we have time for here on Radio Wales Sport. Thank you so much for listening and spending a bit of your day with us. And if you've missed any of the show, don't worry, you can catch it on the show later on YouTube. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from us.